Good morning. I so needed this rest. I've been resting all weekend, but I don't have no one to talk to. And it's funny because I've been feeling my whole life every time I get scared and get nervous. Like if I get scared or uncomfortable, it's not necessarily scared, but when I get really uncomfortable, I get this feeling on my lower back, like I start twitching, like I don't like it. But when I'm in my sleep and I feel stuff on my back, like someone stabbing me, I get uncomfortable in my sleep and it wakes me up. And you know how my whole life, I did not know who I was my whole life. I didn't even know I didn't even think about my race or ethnicity until I turned 14 or 15. I didn't know what I was my whole life. And then when I found out what I was, I didn't even want to be that, you know. And then you know how my life changed when I started having like real, like these dreams, because I started to believe in them. And this is before me, believing in God. You know, at the DV shelter and I see all this witchcraft and I'm like I'm trying to go with God. I'm trying to pray to God, read the Bible because I'm trying to get rid of this witchcraft. And then, finding out that the Kardashians had put a curse on me as a kid when I was in the orphanage, you know, discovering all that hurts, how they would hurt a child. And, as life goes on, I'm learning things about me, aspects, what happened to me. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I'm trying to find out is what happened to me, because I don't understand how someone like me can be born in the United States and then not have a name for 2 years. And I wish I had an easel board right now so I could figure out what the heck happened to me. But I just will never understand why. All of this happened during the Nicole Brown case, being murdered. I didn't get a name until around the same time. I didn't get a name. I started looking at dates because that's when you look at dates. Those are like little puzzles pieces that get put together. And then I look at the life situations that took place. You know, clearly, they did witchcraft. I'm pretty sure they still do. And if it's not witchcraft, I'm pretty sure they upgraded to what, magic? Same shit. It all gives me a headache. If it all gives me a headache, whether it's witchcraft, magic, it's all the same shit. It all gives me a migraine because I wake up to that shit. But I was just thinking about my life because since I'm on my own and right now I am in the streets, I've been feeling someone crazy around me. And there's this tall white man. I don't know if we're related, but I see this tall white man walking. And then my mom, I don't know if she has green or light brown honey eyes. But someone from my past is fucking crazy. Like, they will murder you. And I'm not afraid of that because before you even try to murder my ass, I'm gonna fucking beat your ass and we about to fight. I'm about to fight for my life. But there's someone around that's still alive that is fucking crazy around me. And I know that the Kardashians put a curse. There was a Kardashian curse put on me. And I know that Kim was the one I was around. And Kim must have been 9. I just know how to read the air. I know how to read witchcraft when I don't even see it, but I know there's witchcraft. But anyway, I just know around the time dates. I didn't have a name for two. I didn't get an. I was born 1989. I didn't get a name until 1991. 89, 90, 91. That's 2 years, a month before my birthday. Around the same time, that's when I believe Rob and Chris were getting a divorce or something like that. And then the Nicole Brown case popped up. This is around the same time I finally got a name. I was in the orphanage. And Kim and the Kardashians, it's not just Kim, the Kardashians were around. And I remember watching a show on E about the Kardashians. And for some reason, I can see right through them. Clearly, I mean, I didn't know at the time that I had anything to do with them. But clearly, it's because I had something to do with them. And they were talking about the case, I guess, with Nicole Brown and her husband. What's his name? I don't know. He's fucking whack as fuck. Anyway, what's his name? That famous black guy, O.J. Simpson. But yeah. But I remember Chris mentioning someone. I don't know if I don't know if I'm fucking psychic or she really snitched on herself on E. But I just remember the picture that was put in my head. I don't know if I saw it subliminally or she really said this on E, but I remember seeing in my head when she was speaking that it was a time where they felt, I don't know, like I could be, like I'm not saying this is what she said. I'm saying what I saw in my head when I was watching the interviews, that someone was hiding for a while. Like someone, they didn't want to be seen by the public, or because they were hiding something and they didn't want people to judge them. This is what I saw in my head. I'm not going to put no words in no one's mouth because I'm not going to say that's what they said. I don't remember what they said. I just remember the picture when I was looking at this lady speak. You know how like you see something and it doesn't matter what comes out their mouth, but you just see something in the air. That's how I see shit. With everything. Like I'll see the subliminal before your words. But something happened. Like Chris was clearly lying. I can tell she was full of shit. But something happened where it became that they had to stay away from the public, or they had to stay away from the neighbors, or they had to hide, like they had to be inside the house or something. Like they had to go away or something. I don't know what it is, but that's the picture that was put in my head. That someone is hiding something and turned around and used words to cover the picture. And I just know that, you know, like when I started seeing witchcraft, and it's funny because, you know, it's not just the Kardashians. I use Kim as a punching bag because I really despise fake mothers. I really despise people who lie. I really despise a mother who thinks she's a mother. I'm more of a mother than Kim will ever be. I don't give a fuck how much money you have. You can never instill into your child the truth. You know, I don't know how you are now, but I will always be a better mother than Kim Kardashian, than Kris Jenner, because look at how they raised their children to be. You know, money and fame and fortune doesn't just because you have more money than me and you have something to give to your kids, you stole that from someone because you used the little child me to have what you want. I'm seeing curses on all these celebrity children, and it's very hurtful to know that something happened, you know. Clearly, I was a child around murderers. I was around children who rape. I mean, grown-ups or parents who rape their children, you know, and in the Kardashians. You know, I'm not going live to fucking bash anyone. I'm just speaking my mind. You know, I'm speaking my experience. I'm speaking what I see, because I see sorcery. Do I do sorcery? I will never in my life do sorcery. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in heaven. I believe in his glory and his works. I believe that the day I become delivered, I will deliver those as well. You know, I do believe in God. I don't believe in witchcraft. I see guns. I know that there's guns, but I don't believe in guns. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I'm janky with my shit. I'll go off too. I'm only human. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm only human, because Jesus was human too. I'm just saying I'm not perfect right now. And I'm not trying to start anything with the Kardashians, but I just know that I have a lot to do with what they hid. And I don't know, you know, I don't know. I'm not saying I'm a Kardashian. I just know that that one time when I saw Rob come out of me, I didn't freak out, because I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, what? I was laying just like how I'm laying right now. I was laying the way I'm laying on my side. I was laying like this on the couch, and I kept seeing Rob. You know, I kept seeing the Kardashians. And then someone was trying to make me remember how my mom looked. So clearly, you're in my shit trying to remind me who my mom is. Clearly, you do witchcraft. Clearly, you know who I am. Clearly, you know, like, right after Rob was coming out of me on my couch, you know, right after that, someone did witchcraft or magic or whatever you want to call it. Right after I saw Rob, I started seeing my mom, and they were trying to force me to see my mom. And then I saw Rob Jr. playing with the little girl who was me. But someone was intentionally displaying that in front of me so that I can remember, so they can say they you know, they were trying to make me remember what my mom looks like. And my mom was beautiful. But clearly someone alive is doing this to me. Clearly someone alive thinks they know shit, but they're trying to, like, make me remember. Like, someone out there is alive doing this shit to me. And then I started seeing Kim in my past, like me working at Ross, me being pushed because I worked at Ross, being pushed. I was, you know, Kim, you know, and then I saw Kim at the shelter, but it was just magic. It's not, she wasn't physically there, but someone, I'm clearly, you know, clearly something happened to me, and the Kardashians took a big part in my life when I was a child. And they're this famous people, they're these rich people, and I'm pretty sure clearly they can give two shits about me, clearly. And I don't give a you know, I'm not on live trying to find someone to give a shit. I don't give a shit either, you know. I just know that people are not who they say they are. And back to these dates, you know, like Carmelo had cancer, but he survived. Kim's dad had cancer, and around the same time when I finally and it happened around the same time. They both had cancer around the same time, because when Rob died, I was like 14, 15, and that's when I finally got away. So when I finally got away, Rob finally died. And I keep hearing this, you know how I hear voices? I keep hearing voices like a little girl saying, I'm scared. I'm scared. Like, I keep hearing that shit. And when I was trying to get delivered by Pastor Nate told me that there's a little girl inside me. And I couldn't understand. You know, Pastor Nate, you know, is with God. He told me about my past. he told me, I never told him anything. He just knew. You know how people go to psychics and the psychic will tell you things. Well, don't ever call Pastor Nate a psychic. He's not psychic. He'll tell you it's just God telling him things. And the only reason why he knows things is because God put his trust in Pastor Nate. Because Pastor Nate is with God, you know. And he repeated things. He was like, you lied about who you were. He told me that my mother is of Hispanic. And he knew this, and I never told him anything, but he knew what I have done. And I lied about my past, but definitely it was an influence of my past prior that I didn't, that I totally, because witchcraft will make you forget, it's a lot. It's confusing. When I do get my easel board, I will find out. But back to what I was saying, because, my mind drifts, I forget. Talking about curriculums, I need my own damn curriculum. Let's go from topic to topic so I don't forget shit to mention. But that one time when I was at the DV shelter, witchcraft, I started seeing magic coming out of Beyonce's music, and I love her. I truly love her, but I just don't trust. Like and and during this time, I'm seeing so much magic at the DV shelter. I even kept hearing knocks, like on the door, like someone was stalking me. Like everywhere I go, this person follows me. So when I get an apartment, I gotta install cameras and shit because a motherfucker will stalk me. And I kept seeing Carmelo too, and I know how Carmelo works because he works like a handy. I don't know how he is now, but growing up, he works like a handyman. So it's easy, and he speaks Spanish, so it's easy for a motherfucker who's Hispanic, who does handiwork, to get a job anywhere because they know how to like manipulate and be like, oh yeah, I know how to work on shit, and they'll go around fixing houses because I had dreams that he was in my shit and I didn't even know. He'll go into someone's houses and start fixing shit. He can get a job anywhere at a fucking Mexican mechanic shop. Like, I get that shit. And I'm not scared of anyone, I don't fear a murderer. You can stand in front of me. Hi, Kim. I feel your face. But anyway, I was on the couch and I see Rob come out of me. And I didn't think, I went online. As soon as that happened, I went online and I printed his face out. Oh, okay. Before I saw Rob, I was in the DV shelter, but I was in my room this time. And I was in the bunk bed. And I saw this face. This face came before Rob came out of me. This face, it probably was Rob actually, but it was one, but in the beginning I was scared. Like, I was like, who's this man? Like, I keep seeing his face. And all I can remember, like, his, like, how when you look at something, you always remember one thing about them, like something on their facial. Well, when this person came out, the first thing I saw was their eyebrow. They had really thick shaped eyebrows, but it was a man. And when I was laying down, this man, when I was I was a baby, I was like 2, 3, 1, I don't know. This person put their finger in my vagina, and they hurt me when I was a baby. And that's the vision that came, like, that's the witchcraft that came out of me. And I got scared, and I was like, someone hurt me when I was a baby. And I kept seeing this old man with these eyebrows, like arched, hairy, bushy eyebrows. Like, I kept seeing that, and I can never forget, those shapes. I can never forget. So days go by on, and I looked at my ID, my photo ID. For some reason, I don't know what I was doing. I just happened to look at my ID, and I still have that same ID. And witchcraft helped me look at myself. Like, I'm not saying, like, I don't give witchcraft any fucking credit. Fuck you, witchcraft. Go to hell. Go back to the Black River. Let the Lord deal with you and do with you as He wills. May the Lord bless us all in Jesus' name. But at that time, I felt witchcraft around me. Clearly, I can see it. Clearly, I can feel it. Clearly, I can hear witchcraft because it sounds like this annoying noise. And people who make movies, you know how when you make a movie and you produce those background music to create the scene, to intensify the scene that's going on, that's how it feels. But anyways, days go by, and I look at my ID, and I just happened to look at my eyebrows. And when I looked at my eyebrows, I freaked out. I was like, if I let my eyebrows grow, I don't have a lot of hair. I'm not a very hairy person. Like, I can let my vagina hair grow. my pussy hair grow. I can let my hair grow down there and it won't even get bushy. I have I don't have a lot of thick hair. The thickest hair I got is probably my armpit, but my armpits don't even grow that much. My armpit hairs, I should say. I'm not a hairy person, but I know that when I looked at my eyebrows, the influence of witchcraft helped me think of shit. No credit to you. But anyway. And I was like, I must be related to this old man because we got the same arched eyebrows. And I was trying to think, like, I don't know shit about my past. Right now, I'm waiting for my DCFS history paperwork. Where I come from, what orphanage I came from, what happened to my mom. I'm waiting for that. It's in the process. And, I'm like, I'm related to this old man. I don't even know who this old man is. But I'm related to this person because we have the same eyebrows. And I don't know who this is. So days, clearly I forget about it. Now I'm distracted by other witchcraft. I see Beyonce. I see Jay-Z. I see Kanye. I see Kim. I see Kim's sisters. I see Kris Jenner. Well, I don't really see Kris Jenner. I saw Kris Jenner. The day I felt Kanye, that same night, I saw Kris Jenner with a smirk on her face, drinking her fine wine. And she knew I read her face. She knows who the fuck I am. I don't know how I know, but I know she knows who I am. And I know Kris Jenner has a big part to do with what happened to me and what happened to Nicole Brown. And I think she's full of shit. I think she's a liar. I think she's a murderer. I think she's a snake. And she used her kids to hurt me. I know Kris Jenner is like that. She's a very manipulative person. Because she even put fucking witchcraft on her daughter, Kylie. Is it Kylie or Kendall? Kendall, the model, to date a fucking basketball player. And the only reason why I know is because I kept seeing the basketball player around me. I don't even know his name, but he's light-skinned and he looked black, but he's light-skinned with freckles, and he plays for the Clippers. I don't read, and look it, I don't read media. I don't go online. I barely talk to anybody. But I know, and I'm not saying, look it, I'm just keeping it fucking real. Don't be the bitch on TV who's fake as fuck. Because when the truth comes out, then nobody's gonna want to fuck with you. Nobody's gonna want to believe shit about you. No one's gonna be a real ass bitch, I just know that they do magic. They do witchcraft. They do whatever they fuck they do is sorcery. You know, it's all the fucking same. You can put Louis under Gucci. They're both designers. They both do the same shit. You know what I mean? But anyways, days go by fast. This is how I know it's them, because I see when they put a spell on their child. When Chris puts a spell on, because it comes from Chris's house. Chris is the one who's doing magic or witchcraft in her house. Because I even saw Courtney wake up and go to the kitchen and touch her forehead like something was wrong, or she got a headache or something. I know it's coming from Chris's house because I had a dream. I saw fucking Kylie working out in the fucking hills somewhere, doing sit-ups and shit. Like, there's no reason why I should be seeing the Kardashians around me. I don't even read about I don't even need to fucking read a book about you to get to know you, okay? Like, I just see the shit in front of me. But anyways, back to my fucking story. Days go by and I'm distracted by all these other witchcraft, like distracted by all these other celebrities. You know, after days go by after I seen that face, and I was like, and I looked at my eyebrows and I'm like, I'm related to this person who hurt me. So I'm distracted by other shit with sorcery. And I'm laying on my couch, like, I'm not thinking about shit at this time. I'm laying on my couch and Rob comes out of me. And Rob looked like the man. Rob is old and ugly inside me because he died because of witchcraft. He didn't die because of cancer. He died because of witchcraft. Witchcraft created the cancer and made the person ill. Because witchcraft gives me headaches. Witchcraft makes me feel like shit. I know witchcraft can create cancer and kill a motherfucker. So, you know, Rob comes out of me. And I know, I just intuitively, I knew it was him. I don't know how I knew. I just knew that it was him. So I'm on the couch and he's coming out of me, and then he goes back inside me. Like, it's trying to come out of me. So I saw him. And then right after that, I go to the computer. I ask to use the computer. And I print Rob Kardashian Sr.'s face. And I try to look at his eyebrows too, because I'm like, is this the same guy I had a dream about? I mean, not a dream, because I was awake with my eyes open and I saw this guy. So I'm like, I'm not fucking delusional. I'm just trying to figure it out. And I'm definitely not obsessed with the fucking murderer. I'm not obsessed with the man I don't know. I'm not crazy like that. But I'm trying to put things together, and I'm trying to figure out, who the fuck are you? Like, who is Rob? Like, why were you inside me this whole fucking time? You know, why is this man sticking his finger inside my vagina as a toddler? You know, like, why in the beginning am I so fearful of this face? Because every time I saw this face, prior to Rob coming out, I kept seeing an old man's face, and it kept scaring me. And all I can think of was eyebrows. You know, my eyebrows are shaped. They're naturally shaped. I just get it clean. Like, they're just naturally arched like that. So, to this day, I still don't know who Rob is. I just know that as soon as I got a name, I was put in the orphanage. Kim, the Kardashians definitely were around. But then after that, Nicole was murdered, you know. I didn't, even when I was a baby, I didn't. Clearly, in my heart, I can be wrong. I don't even want to say in my heart. But inside me, something is telling me that I was kidnapped. Because this is the only way a child is not going to understand their mother. If I was with my mother this whole fucking time, I would have understood the language of Spanish. Now, when you are a child, before you are born, you're in your mother's womb. And you start to learn the language before you're even born. You're starting, especially if your mother is foreign and she's from a different country and all she do is speak Spanish. And when you're in your mother's womb, you hear her voice. A mother speaks to her child when they're in her when the child is in the mother's womb. They talk, and if I was in my mother's womb, she would I'm not saying she would have spoke Spanish to me, because not everyone does that. Not everyone that wants to be a mother. Not everyone knows how to be a mother. They don't think to talk to their stomach. But who knows? I just know that when I saw my mother visiting her, I don't know why I was separated from my mother. I don't know why I'm in an orphanage. No one's explaining this to me, but I'm also not asking any questions, because I don't think to ask any questions. I didn't think to speak. I didn't think. And then going back to this foster home where Carmelo was hurting me, he was really telling me to suck on his penis on my way to go see my mom. So right after, I'm like on the freeway and he's telling me to go down on him on my way to see my mom. This is the true story. This is what the Kardashians did to me. They didn't save me. They didn't help me. They used me to cover shit up. And on my way to go see my mom, I was sucking a man's dick. And I was in preschool. And when I go see my mom, what just happened, I forget about it. I don't know if it was because of witchcraft. I don't know if it was because if I was scared. I just know the minute that happened, I moved on. Those were the habits that were created when I was a kid. I just learned how to move on. So when I get out the car and I see my mom, she spoke Spanish, but I don't know shit I did not understand anything she said. So I felt like if I couldn't understand anything you said, I was never around you when I was born. Something happened that kept me away from, because when you're a baby, you naturally inherit the language that your parents speak. You naturally, intuitively start to remember. You start to understand what your mother's saying. If your mother tells you to do something, you do it. You just naturally remember. But if I'm in preschool already and I'm doing visitations with someone I don't even understand, and coming to visit on my way to come see my mom, I'm being hurt, but I get out the car and I forget what just happened. That's and it's a fucked up thing, because it looks like I don't care, but it's not because I don't care. I was trained to be that way with witchcraft. I was trained to be with that, with fear being instilled in me by Carmelo and his wife. They're telling me to not tell no one what's going on. So I'm following instructions. I'm being brainwashed. So when Rob comes out of me, I'm just trying to understand, I'm just trying to understand where I come from, what happened to me, because I feel like I need that solid understanding in order for me to move on. Otherwise, I'm still going to continue to talk about something that's not healed, not closed. There's nothing I don't know what happened to me, I feel like I deserve an explanation for the life that was given to me. My life was taken. Like, I was born and someone said, nope, you can't have that life. So let me take it away from you and you're going to have this horrible life. That's what happened to me. I know for a fact that's what happened to me. I know in Jesus' name that someone stole my life. And I'm just talking out loud. Like, I'm not reaching out to nobody, because I just put my trust in God. And, further down the line, as I'm trying to figure shit out, I started to see how Chris looked from back in the day. Chris looked dressed just like my mom, because I had pictures of my mom. And I know there's someone in the past, Psycho, I know someone in the past was stabbed in their back. Someone was murdered. And the only person I can think of that was murdered, that I know of, it could have been more people that had been murdered unknowingly. But the only thing I can think of was O.J. Simpson, because around the time I was given back into the fucking orphanage or to my mom or whatever, the O.J. Simpson case came up. Someone was murdered. That's the only thing I can think of, because the O.J. curse came out of me too. But during the time that Rob came out of me and I'm on the couch, I almost got saved in my sleep. I almost was delivered in my sleep. And this is during the same time someone's been stalking me. This is why I need my Nemo, because Dory starts kicking in. I start talking like the subject will quickly change. Like I'll start talking about something that I'll forget what I was talking about. So let me try to put shit in order. Okay. Clearly I know somebody was murdered, and I don't know if it's the O.J. Simpson case or something else happened and someone got away with murdering someone. But someone was stabbed in their back, like really bad, like murdered. And I can feel it on my back. And before I go any further, I just want to say that there was a curse on the Rockefeller. I don't know if it's Rockefeller or Rock, but someone with Jay-Z. There was a curse on his label. There was a curse on that. There was a curse on the name Brown. There was a curse, because I'm laying in the bed and I see all this witchcraft coming out of me, and I can see, I don't know who's Brown. I don't know if it's Nicole Brown, Chris Brown. I don't, not that he has, I don't know if he has anything to do with this, but there's this name Brown comes up, spelled in words, Brown, and then I start seeing green, and I'm like, well, maybe I don't know who green is, but I know green is my favorite color. I saw the name green, I saw the name Brown. It can just be a name, it could be the color of someone's eyes. I don't know what it is, but I know that there's a curse on this. There's a lot of curses coming out of me, and for some reason I'm the fucking treasure box with all these curses in them. But so going back to me being almost saved in my sleep, I felt like I just felt like, I know it's weird and I know it's far-fetched, but you have to literally experience this in order to understand what it is that I'm about to say. You have to really experience it for yourself to believe. While all these curses are coming out of me, and it happened twice. I was laying on my back on the couch again, because for some reason I like to sleep on the couch. I was laying on the couch, and I had such a horrible life. I was laying on the couch, and I almost got saved. But I felt like, I don't want to be disrespectful to the Christians out there. I love Jesus. I believe in Jesus. I will die by the cross. I will get saved, and I will deliver those in Jesus' name. But I feel like someone made love to me in my sleep. Twice. In 2 separate occasions. And when someone was making love to me in my sleep, I felt like I saw God. Like, I felt like I was about to get delivered. Like, I felt like I was about to get saved. Like, no more witchcraft, nothing. I'm about to cry right now. I felt like someone, I felt like I was getting, like, I don't know if it was God, like the God, heaven almighty, but I felt like someone made love to me in my, like, from afar. I don't know if you're from afar, you broke into my fucking shelter and went into the fucking attic and, you know, like, there's so many scenarios that could play in my head. Or it can just be God, you know. I always said, you know, in order to be delivered, you have to be, you, not only do you have to be with God, but for it to naturally just happen, the best way I would want to deliver someone is in their sleep, because you're meditated, you're relaxed. There's nothing distracting you that can cause tension, that can prevent a deliverance, because tension in the body can prevent deliverance. It can prevent the lack of faith. It can create lack of faith, the tension in your body, because you're holding on tight without realizing that you have tension. I understand this. So I'm in my sleep, and out of my, like, in my sleep I can feel like love inside me. But it's starting to wake me up. I'm on the couch and I can feel myself almost being delivered. Like, I'm about to get saved right now. Keep going. To save me. Keep going. But I didn't get delivered, but I almost got delivered, and I was in the best mood ever, but I jacked it up because I stayed. But anyways, when I woke up out of my sleep, I was like, oh my God, I almost got saved. And I'm gonna say this, I shit you not, I felt like a Kardashian. But I wasn't in love with the idea. I was in love with the fact that I wanted to do shit I always wanted to do. Like, okay, I'm gonna tell you how I felt. I felt like a Kardashian. I don't know how a Kardashian feels. I'm not gonna say never been around them, because clearly I was one as a child, but I didn't know that until witchcraft started coming out of me. But it felt like I was a Kardashian. I felt like I was gonna be free. I felt like I was so in love, not with the idea of a Kardashian. Like, I just felt the way I almost got saved. I just felt like the truth was coming out. Whoever you are, I love you. But I just, like, you know, I felt like a Kardashian. I'm not, you know, and it might not even be a Kardashian. It just might be how Diana really feels. And people think that that's how Kardashian feels because of witchcraft. You know, it can be different plays. You know, it can be really that I am a Kardashian, and someone like Kris Jenner try to put witchcraft on me to hide, because the same thing happened to my son. They put witchcraft on my son to hide who his real dad was. You know, like, and when you do that to a child, when you put a curse on a child, that curse will live on from generation. Like, the same thing that happened to me will go happen to my child. The same thing that happened to my child will happen to their child, until somebody comes in, is born into the world, and breaks that curse in Jesus' name. So, you know, I could have been a Kardashian and someone did witchcraft on me to hide the evidence, you know, to make my mom look like she was a hoe, to make it could have been different things. And I know that learning that my son had witchcraft on him, you know, I'm learning that this person who did this was a murderer. You know, I'm learning that who did witchcraft on my son murdered people. So I know whoever did witchcraft on me when I was a child is a murderer too. And I'm not scared of the Kardashians. You know, when I finally find, you know, I might not even be a Kardashian, and I can care less about the Kardashians. Whether I am or not, I will always be Diana Flores Ortiz. You know, that's who I am. You know, I will never just be like, you know, there goes my son coming out of me. You know, but I will never, you know, I will never give a shit about the Kardashians, period, point blank. But I know that the minute I thought I was getting deliverance, I felt like a Kardashian. I felt like I wanted to do music. I felt like I wanted to be a rock star. Like, but this is my I know for a fact this is my true self. I know this because when I was a child, that's all I wanted to do was do music. I didn't know how I was going to do it because I was getting molested and raped every day. And I knew that I would get my ass beat by Carmelo. And I want to cry now because I want, because that's all I wanted to do was music. And then I started reading history about Rob Kardashian, how he was into music and how he, I don't know how to articulate it, but I read that he liked to do like background music, like for like movies and shit. I don't know what it's called, but I just know that I always love background music. Like if I can have cameras around me all the time with music to like create live, like I always love that shit. But I know, like, I will never forget, like, that day I wanted to dye my hair. Like, I wanted to, like, I wanted to do music so bad that day. Like, but I don't think I would ever get to that. I don't think I would ever. Now that I'm like, years later, past like 2 or a year, I don't know if it was 2016. It had to be 2016. 2 years later passed by and I'm homeless, But I'm getting better, it doesn't matter what I have. As long as I get better inside, like, as long as I get better inside, then, the housing and being a mom will kick it. I just don't know why. These people will be so hurtful. Ruining my life. Ruining my children's life. I just know that I don't care about those people. How much they hurt me. Why would I give a shit about any of them? I just know what I felt, And of course, time goes on and I forget about it because I start going through shit again. And then I go, and then from that DV shelter, I moved back to, the LA area, but in Lakewood. And then I start feeling, clearly someone was putting more witchcraft on me, voodoo, whatever you want to call it. Then I start having dreams about all these celebrities and how much they're putting witchcraft on me and, being hurt in my sleep, trying to see if I'm a hoe, not even giving a fuck about me. Like, they just want to test me, but not really giving a fuck about me. Because like I said, like, if you live, you live. If you pass the test, you pass the test. But if you fail the test, then they move on. They're like hyenas. They don't give a shit about you. If you die, they're not gonna give a shit. If I die today, right now, no one will give a shit about you. Me. There will be no funeral. I'll just be burned up into ashes. And no one and my kids will move on. I will never give a shit about anyone. If I had a dream about you, I don't give a shit about you. If I saw witchcraft around me and it was your face, I will never give a shit about you. I will never trust anyone. And it's fucked up because I had a life where I couldn't even be a mom. I have 2 fucking deadbeat baby daddies. And I don't even have my kids. Because of the Kardashians. Because of Amber. But the only person who put this curse on me was the Kardashians. I would never give a shit about people. I'm pretty sure they hurt North too, because when I woke up, there was a curse on her too. I just hope they didn't put their fucking finger in her. Because they hurt children, and they're all girls. All these people who have curses on them are girls. When I was a child, they put a curse on me, but in order to put a curse on me, they had to hurt the child for the curse to work. And there's curses on all these little girls. There's a curse on this little boy too, probably to hide the fact that he's not even the child, you know? I will never believe anything anyone has to say. I know that when I get delivered, I will be alone. Because everyone is not who they say they are. And I know that I'm not scared of a murderer. I know that I'm not scared of anything. I am with God. I believe in Jesus Christ. I saw too much witchcraft, and I started seeing a lot of witchcraft when I fell in love. I just know I was meant to be an artist, I was meant to sing. I was meant to be successful. But these people hurt me. And, they're all on TV and people praise them and think that they're good people. I don't believe that they're good people. I believe that they're frauds. And no matter how much you smile in my face, you'll always still be evil. Because Satan is a liar. I remember, I don't know if I read it or if I heard it on TV, but Scott said that there was a curse, a Kardashian curse or something. I know, I just know that those people know who Diana is and they try to cover it up. I honestly don't care to know who they are. I just want to know what happened to me so that I can have closure in myself and move on. Because I don't have closure. Otherwise, I'm always still be talking about this or questioning. But I believe someone like me deserves the truth. You know, I haven't done anything to anyone. I don't talk shit. I don't talk bad about people. You know, when someone tries to gossip about someone and wants to be a chismosa is a person who gossips. I don't do chisme, you know, I don't gossip. I don't talk bad about people. I just tell you the truth. You know, I'm not online to talk shit about people, to bash people. I'm online to vent because it feels good and it feels better for me. It's therapeutic for me. You know, I have to go live. If I feel like it's not live, then I feel like it's fake. Like, I had to be real. You know, I want it to be raw, even if I fuck up. You know, like, I just want it to be real. You know, I don't talk bad about people. I tell you what the fuck I'm going through. I just know that I was meant to be someone and I end up not being anything. And the reason why I never question shit is because I was trained not to. The reason why am forgetful is because of witchcraft. You know, I would never want to be something that I'm not. I lied about who I was because I hated myself. You know, I not because I was being fake. I hated who I was. I was raped my whole life. You know, like, I never had a childhood. I was never a kid. You know, I went to theme parks. Yeah, I've experienced that. But it doesn't mean nothing when you're being hurt all day, every day. You can buy me an ice cream and it doesn't mean I had a childhood. It just means it was a cover up to hide the pain that was inside me. I never had sleepovers and parties. You know, I never had any of that. I was dragged by my hair and thrown into my room like a dungeon. So when I say I'm up in my tower, it feels like I'm in my tower, stuck. You know, I'm not making shit up. This is how I paint how I feel. To almost be delivered in my sleep and to see and to feel things, you know, it's hurtful. I didn't fall in love because I felt like I was a Kardashian. I felt because I felt music. And then you see all these musical celebrities. I don't know. And the reason why what made me get on live right now is because I woke up out of my sleep and I feel someone who's dark around me, who's stalking me, who's doing witchcraft on me. Someone psycho in the past has been hurting me. Someone was murdered. I don't know who my mom is. I don't know where she's at. but I'm in the process of receiving documentation from DCFS so that I can read what happened to me. Because when I get those papers in my hands, I will be investigating and trying to find out where my mom is. I just know that I'm not delivered and I'm saved. My heart is saved, but I'm just not delivered. And, now that I have a better understanding of how people are, even when I am delivered, I will be by myself. I don't want to be around anyone. I have different perspectives about life now. And trust is worthy, but it's not given. I have to start my day now, so I have to get off.